Hey YouTube, Alex Conley here, and we're entering my hotel room at the Toyoko Inn near ITM Airport in Osaka. So I booked this hotel room because my flight tomorrow to Fukuoka leaves at like 8 a.m. and I wanted to be really close to the ITM airport to make sure that I make my flight on time. And turns out this Toyoko Inn actually offers a free airport shuttle service between 6 and 10 a.m. So I'm going to set my alarm for 6 a.m. and get up at 6 and head downstairs. Apparently they have a free breakfast from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with like bread, rice, some side dishes, things like that. I'm going to munch on that and enjoy some of these beverages I picked up at the store. And then, you know, take that free shuttle to the ITM airport and head on through security and fly down to Fukuoka. So why don't we go ahead and get into this tour of this room right here. I'm not sure what these kanji symbols say, but essentially this is a Toshiba brand set of light switches, and so they probably control different light switches in the room. I'm not going to mess with those right now because I'm making this video, but I thought I'd just go ahead and start off with that. So right here they've got a couple of pairs of slippers, and this is different than my previous two hotels. They actually clean these slippers and reuse them. So unlike my previous hotels, they don't want you to take those, and I presume they'll add a charge to your bill if you end up taking those. This, I think, is a hot water heater, so if you want to make some tea, you can use that. So they've got a shoe polisher here. What else? This hotel room does not have the closet on the immediate right. I do see that instead of that, they've got, right in here next to the TV, they've got these coat hangers, and then they've got a sort of a knob right there for hanging your coat. And speaking of the TV, it's a Sharp, it looks like about somewhere between a 27 and a 32-inch Sharp television. I watched a little bit of sumo on there. The picture quality is great. This television also will allow you to watch YouTube and several other options. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was the first time I've actually turned on a TV here in Japan. I did so because I asked the front desk about the Wi-Fi code, and the lady working there mentioned, just turn the TV on. And so when I plugged in my key card, which I'll show you over here, similar to my other hotel room in Osaka, when I plugged in my key card, the TV automatically turned on, and I got the Wi-Fi password that way. So, moving on to the beds, different than my other rooms so far in this trip, we've got here, instead of one big bed, well, I should say other rooms in Japan so far, instead of one big bed, we've got two, what looks to be like full-size beds, and then in the middle there's a lamp. I haven't turned the lamp on yet. I can't figure out if I don't know if that's a nightstand. I guess it would be considered a nightstand, but it doesn't appear to have any drawers. We got some curtains here. Of course, I won't be needing those because I'll be leaving pretty early. We can check out the view real quick. There's not like a killer view here or anything, but I don't really care because it's just, this is the practical option to make my morning flight. But for people that are wondering, you kind of got just a standard street down there. Looks like a parking lot. Looks like there's several other hotels on this block, and there are bigger hotels that you can't see from here. You may be able to see that one right there. This area around ITM Airport has a bunch of different hotels, so this is one of them, the Toyoko Inn, but there's several others that I can't recall the name of. So we've got the bed here. I'll probably just sleep on this one since I've already got my things out on it. We got a thermometer And then this is this remote controls the heating unit, and it took me a little bit to figure out because, as you can see, turn it down a little bit. As you can see, it's only in characters. So I Googled online. I Googled Panasonic heater remote, and it was able to explain to me what the symbols meant. I figured it out and was able to turn the heater on. So definitely do that if you don't read kanji or hiragana. You'll want to check out on Google how to operate the remote, because it took me like probably 10-15 minutes, and I could have gone downstairs and asked the front desk, but I want to learn because I'm sure this is not the last Japanese remote that I'll encounter. So I mentioned there wasn't a drawer set. You have another nightstand here. It's got this lamp up top, this globe shape, and then it's got the smaller one down here, a small glass shelf. And what do we have here? Looks like some kind of magazine. A couple of magazines. Find English articles from page 1. We can just check this out really quick. Mitsui shop in Tsuruga-cho. Toyoko in combination with ukiyo-e. Sympathize and support Japanese culture. Wow, so in 2018, there were over 31 million foreign tourists, and 2.27 million of them chose Toyoko Inn as their place of accommodation. So roughly 7% of tourists in 2018 stayed at a Toyoko Inn for, I presume, one or more nights. So that's pretty impressive numbers. And this chain, I believe, is popular throughout Japan. So this is probably not the last one I'll see. This is the only night I'm staying at one, because I booked more of an apartment style stay down in Fukuoka, but certainly glad to be staying here, and it's interesting to see. So up here they've got a Buddhist book, a couple of books that are in hiragana or kanji. I need to learn the difference between the two so I can mention it right off the bat. They've also got a copy of the New Testament, Christian Bible. What else? And they've got some details here about making phone calls with this telephone. Nice little mirror for if you need to check your face or your hair, see how your shave went, all that good stuff. I'm charging my Nikon battery here and it's done, so I'm going to swap it out and charge one of the others. I'm not sure. I guess that might be the name of the manager, Okamoto. This is the remote for the television. Let's see what this is. Okay, so they've got a directory and a notepad. Nice little touch there. People that are here on business. And a hair dryer. You get out of the shower, need to dry your hair. It's nice that it's away from the bathroom where the water would be. And that's a little snack I got. Gloves. So here we've got the television guide. So while they don't have a guide to the heater, they do have this guide to how to operate the television. We got a guide to their entertainment. Down here we've got this safe, the smart safe. I haven't had to use one here in Japan, but if you need to use one, there you go. I would show you the inside of this fridge, this Toshiba fridge, but there are a couple of beverages in there, and just for the sake of being kosher with YouTube, we're going to leave it closed, but it is an eco-friendly fridge. They ask that you plug it in or turn it on before you use it. So just keep that in mind if you are staying here to Toyoko, and that you may need to turn it on. Wouldn't want you to leave beverages in there for later, only to find out that they're still warm. But fairly standard fridge. And oh, one thing I missed. They do have some tea right there. So if you're a tea drinker like I am, you can take advantage of that tea. And that's a water heater. So that other thing might be another device. There's a lot of electronics here in Japan I'm still learning about. So I don't. This may be maybe it's like a humidifier, but anyway, we'll check under the bed here before we go to the bathroom. There isn't enough space for your big luggage under the bed. So we'll just show you. Yeah, so if you got big luggage, you can put it under the bed so you don't trip over it. And, okay, standard clock up there. That's right, about 5 till 7 p.m. I think after I make this video, I'm going to go pick up some dinner somewhere. I say pick up, but tonight I'll probably sit down for something. So similar warning to my other Osaka hotel room. They want you to keep this door closed because when you're taking a shower, because one second, trying to figure out the light. They don't want to set off the fire alarm basically from all the steam. I'm trying to figure out how to turn the lights on in here. Okay, well, we have to give this part of the tour with just the hallway light. So immediately on the left, just standard toilet paper dispensers. We'll just set this down. So this is a Japanese toilet, the USPA brand, USPA. I guess USPA. Various functions that you can see here. Fairly sophisticated, especially if you're coming from the United States like I am. I presume that I think the one on the right is lower water consumption. The one on the left is higher water consumption for obvious reasons. They don't include as many goodies here, but I kind of like that just because I feel like it helps moderate the price. They include toothbrush and toothpaste. And then they've got a couple of standard cups in case you'd like a glass of water. I do believe you can drink the tap water here in Japan. Double check to make sure based on your local area. I wouldn't want to tell people to drink tap water here and find out that's not the case in some areas. But I've been drinking the tap water with no issue. We got 2 standard towels up top. We got 2, I guess, hand towels or face towels. Unfortunately, I don't know what this says. If you know what it says, if you're capable of reading the characters, let us know down in the comments. I may show this video to my grandma and have her kind of do some translation so I can share what that actually says. Pretty standard water setup here. You got just a regular faucet. So on the left here, they've got shampoo, conditioner, and then face and body wash, and I like all of those included. It just makes it a lot simpler as a traveler than to have to figure out, okay, what travel size do I want, which brands are available in travel size, etc., etc. You've just got these built in, and they're using an eco-friendly multi-use container here, which I really like because I don't like throwing away these tiny things. I mean, one of the things about traveling that makes it better is having a beautiful planet and environment to be able to enjoy these trips. And one of the things that we travelers can do to help minimize our impact is avoiding these single-use small containers of various soaps, shampoos, conditioners, etc., etc. So I do like that. And I do think that even though travel can be incredibly resource intensive, I also think that there's value in learning about the world around us and learning about other cultures, learning about our own cultures. This is my first time in Japan, and I feel like I can relate so much more to my grandmother after this type of experience. But I'll get into more of that in a later video. This is a hotel room tour. So we've got, right here, we've got just a standard faucet. I'm going to presume that, okay, so that's just letting it drain. So I'll have to figure that out later. That's going to be a little bit more confusing. One thing I've noticed about Toyoko is it probably appeals more heavily to Japanese travelers, which makes sense because they really encourage and push the sort of the use of the JR system for tourists, and most tourists are doing the Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto triangle, so they're not doing as much domestic flying. So it makes sense to me the domestic, or should say hotels near domestic airports here in Japan are going to cater primarily to local Japanese. But up top, before we wrap up, I see just a standard metal detector. Looks like some kind of air filter type thing. Yeah, well, I appreciate you joining me. If you enjoy this video, if you want to see more hotel room tours, definitely give me a thumbs up, subscribe, check out some of my other videos. I'm trying to do different types of content. I'll organize them in playlists so you guys can enjoy. But thank you for watching, and this has been a hotel room tour at the Toyoko Inn near ITM Airport in Osaka, Japan. I will see you next time.